Hi, my name is Brian Pitti Lukano. I'm the steward. I prefer calling myself a steward. I'm the steward of Zijani, a renewable modern energy company that was formed in 2017 that focuses on resource recovery from the hospitality industry. We collect used cooking oil and from kitchens in all over the country and also even out of the country, and then we repurpose it into the biofuel sector. I got a WhatsApp message in 2018 of a sponsored class by Sinap. We were only paying 8,000 shillings. And I wondered, okay then, if it's 8,000 for an acceleration program, I paid it. We had the first class in Gong Road. The class was big. Yeah, so with other business owners and entrepreneurs still, and that's how I got to know about Synapis. So one, as you start the business, there are times when you get busy, and there are times also when you have time to even now think and strategize through. So at that time, you're still trying to put a brand name out. You're still trying to put in the people that you need to be working with. So you find that even as you're trying to push the name of the business out there, I had a bit of time. So I said, you know what, I'll go into this class and I'll see what I can learn. I had done other accelerators before, but they were not as this one. This one was just, I was shocked. To be very honest, I was shocked. One, I got into a program where they start giving you material and it was free. And there were booklets, like encyclopedia sized booklets. They were massive. And then the structure was, they would take points every time you attend the class. Every time you attendance, it leads you towards the BPC competition. At that time, I didn't have much money, so I was looking forward to even now build a bit of investment into the business. So I was looking into the BPC competition, and I was focused looking into it. And the prerequisite of that class was that if you attend class continuously, if you do your assignments continuously, and if you participate actively, then you have a chance at a slot into the BPC competition. I found that it was one diligent. It gave you that grit and staying power into that class. They were giving chances for people to present their assignments, and I would always have that eagerness. And one thing that was good about presenting it is that entire class of entrepreneurs became like your boardroom. So it became like a sounding board. So you talk that this is what I'm looking at, and then after that, now you start getting suggestions. You start getting linkages into who can even be working with, and even partners that we can be working with. I can tell you, out of that class, I got used cooking oil. Out of that class, I got the guy who did my branding, and he's doing it up to date. We are close business partners, and he's doing my branding, and he's very good at it. So it was through those interactions that you first find that you're building relationships for the future, and that will carry on the business from there. Can I add on more? And faith in the class. The part that where you come in the morning, you share a word, you pray, and you submit it to God, even the class to God. And after class, you will still pray about what you guys have done. That is something that I have not seen in other classes. And it was everyone who paid attended class. So whether it was interdenominational, whatnot, the aspect that we have to commit this class to God, for me, was also something that was very unique. The class really transformed my thinking. One, as an entrepreneur, and in this manner is that if you create the structures that will carry the business in place, have faith that you'll eventually get there. So one is you have to delegate. So I really, at that point in time, by the time I was attending that class, I had only 3 employees. And the aspect of delegation was what I had now started warming up into, but this class now instilled on it. So it's like create a system, fire yourself, create a system, make sure it works, test it, then fire yourself. And then move to the next. When you fire yourself, you move to the next. So every time it's sort of, you get into like an eagle's eye view at every point. So you started from the bottom, you are CEO, Chief Everything Officer, and then now you start now creating steps, and then you start getting high level. Then the picture starts getting broader as the higher you go, you start seeing a broader picture. Then you start seeing the levels of management that will come in even and that will which will run the business. So I would say those were some of the things that I really learned about that class. And another thing is about faith in the business. Faith in the business is a story that I still remember and I still watch up to now. It was the story of Stanley Tam and ABC Plastics. He dedicated it to God, and it turned into an amazing story. And we watched those videos, and the practicality of the class in which they could blend both the theory and the practical aspect. Because now that was a practical story of someone who surrendered his business to God. Because at that point in time, even at a personal level, you're broke, you are trying to make things work. It's like you're holding a child in the womb, and you're the only one who knows how this child is kicking. And when they kick, sometimes it can be painful. So it was that point in time when I learned now about how Stanley Tam and ABC Plastic and how he dedicated his business to God and how God turned it around. I have seen the value of contentment and being faithful in the little. According to Matthew 25, verse 25, if you are faithful in the little, I'll entrust you too much. So I said, you know what, I'm faithful, I have this, it is small now, but if I just stay put at it, Synapis was the last accelerator I went through. I have not gone through any accelerator again, but I still glean from the lessons I learned through that accelerator. First of all, thank you. Thank you for God used you to transform a life, for God used you to transform a journey, for God used you to change a situation that looked, let's say, bleak in a way. And this person helped us in the business, because through this learning in the academy and also through the Synapis, the teachers, the facilitators, through that we were able to learn. I was able to learn a lot about delegation, a lot about digitizing the system, a lot about strategy, a lot about timing. When I started, when we got into Synapis, I only had 3 employees. We have been able to grow. We were at that time in Nairobi only. Right now we are in Mombasa, we are in Kisumu, we are in Eldoret, we are in Nakuru. And from 3, right now I have 32, to the glory and honor of his name. And it's not that we intentionally just put them there, it's that the business now demands it. So it organically demands those roles. I can actually leave the business, and tomorrow morning it will still run. So that is something that I couldn't be able to do before this class, and this class has enabled me to do that.